Yeah, in case you didn't already catch wind of the news here, Andy's having technical difficulties and was supposed to immediately be streaming Fire Emblem 3 houses as it came out, but Andy's having technical difficulties, therefore we're continuing Ace Attorney. I'm sorry if anyone watching this at a later time left earlier because they thought it was over and they wanted to see the end of this, but I'm finishing it today! Wow! Okay, cool. Now that I got that out of the way. I just feel bad because I'm like, if people left who were genuinely wanting to see the ending of Ace Attorney, sorry, I'm finishing it now. I have a feeling I got a feeling that I should be able to finish it before Andy gets those issues resolved. So yeah, I hope I didn't annoy anyone by going ahead and doing another @everyone on Discord and also tweeting out again. I just wanted to make sure if anyone who had left still wanted to see the end of Ace Attorney, they would hopefully catch it and then go, oh, and come back. But yeah, I did all I can do, so we're just gonna play more Ace Attorney now. Yeah! Hold it! Where did this bellboy have to go if he left Mr. Engard's room? He opened the door to Viola Hall, went in there, and who knows after that, right? I do. Your usual crowd is there? Yeah, true. But, you know, I still feel bad. Did you see anything strange, suspicious, or just out of the ordinary at that time? Oh, yeah, I saw that one thing. What? He saw something else? There was this jittery alien with a ray gun. That was old bag. I think you're crackling? Am I? Am I, though? It should be pretty obvious if I am. Yeah, you are. Okay, give me a second. The fuck? Not plugged in? Oh shit, there we go. How about now? Am I still crackling now? FE stands for farewell my turnabout. Yes? Yes, you're fine. There we go. Okay, weird. Just when I thought we'd resolved the popping issue. Whatever. Whatever. I think we can forget about the alien. Well, Mr. Prowse's testimony just now was as vague as his first. Technical difficulties the stream! Woohoo! Except I always have this technical difficulty and we still haven't figured out what the fucking solution is. I might try switching my microphone to a different USB. I don't see how that would help, but I'll just see if it does anything. Although that just makes it harder on us, doesn't it? Some of the USBs in my computer are shitty, so... My cat just swatted at me. What? He wants to say hello. I don't know why I did that. Alright, so I've pressed all the statements. After leaving Juan's room, the bellboy went and knocked on Matt's door just like that. He gave something to the person inside the room. Then the old guy just left without even going to the room. After that, I went to my bathroom and back to my seat. I did press all of these statements, right? I'm not stupid. Okay. It's rough when I just, like, had to come back to this. Let me double check. But I don't have to press statements even more. Beep, 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 beep. His bow tie is very round. I like Fire Emblem games too, guys. I hope that nothing I said came off as like, who the fuck cares about Fire Emblem? I also like Fire Emblem, so I would like to see the new one. I don't really plan to play it. But hey, I would like to see it. Ask about the person inside. There we go. So, who took this something the bellboy handed off? Actually, I don't know. What do you mean? I'm sorry, but I only saw the person's arm. Only an arm? Then you're saying you didn't see the person's face? Yeah. I would like to summarize the testimony up to this point if you don't mind. When the bellboy left the crime scene, he immediately went to the defendant's room. There, he handed a small item of some sort to the person inside. As for the person who received the item, all you could see was this person's arm. Yes, it was just like that. Mr. Edgeworth, is all this really that important? Of course, Your Honor. I think it's of the utmost importance. This is when whatever was removed from the crime scene was handed over to the client. Mr. Powers, please try to remember what it was the bellboy handed off. Well, let's see. I think it was... No... If you remember, please add it to your testimony. Yes, sir. Do I just have to press the statements even more until he remembers? We got lucky because we're stalling for time, and Powers is just like... Mika, what the heck? It's been so long since I should be ready to go by 12:30. Okay. I'll just keep going until then. I just wanted to put him there. Looks for this time for this childhood scene. I'm gonna have to come up with whatever this statue thing is and show it to him. You're going to have to trust your instinct on this one and take a chance, Phoenix. Well, Mr. Powers, let's continue with your testimony. What did the bellboy do after that? Man, it's already past midnight, huh? I was slightly like, oh man, Andy, you want me to go stream some more? There's a burrito in my fridge. I wanted to go eat that. I'm a little bit hungry. I do. I kind of want to eat the burrito. I went to the bathroom, back to my seat. I was assuming to get him to remember. Oh, Matt's store just like that. He gave someone sort of... I think it was some sort of wooden statue. Oh, I missed the part where he actually remembered what it was. I'm gonna do a save state. Thank you, Mika. Very cool. Bruh, eat the burrito. I mean, I will when I'm done streaming. I'll update you guys on Twitter on how delicious the, like, 2-day-old leftover burrito was. What was the point of that pregnant pause? He said pregnant. Where did the objection come from? Well, speak up. It was me, Your Honor. What is it, Phoenix? I have a feeling that something bad is gonna happen once I show this. Mr. Wright, if you have something to say, please spit it out. Yes, Your Honor. Okay, Phoenix, deep breath. Mr. Powers, there's something you saw. Was it this item? Oh, yay! That's it! That's the something! Wow, Mr. Wright, you really figured it out. How the fuck would you not remember a wooden bear? I recall we found this at Matt Ungard's mansion. The defendant's house? Pertinent. Pregnant. What does this mean? It's simple, Your Honor. Shelly the killer assassinated Juan Corrida in his room. And then he stole this wooden bear from the scene of the crime. Then, the bear being found at Matt Ungard's mansion would be... It goes without saying, Your Honor. Mr. Matt Ungard is the killer's client. Order, order, order. I said order. Mr. Wright, this is a most unfortunate turn of events for you. Yeah. Sorry, Mia. No, it's all right. Your judgment was sound. Actually, I figured the bear would come up. If not now, then it would have later on. Even if you hadn't shown it to the court, I'm sure your friend Edgeworth would have. Oh, I almost forgot that he knew about it too. Yeah, he was there. I think it's clear that there's no need for us to continue this trial. I can't let this happen. I have to do something. There has to be something we've overlooked. Your Honor! A minute, please! Yes, Mr. Wright? There are still a few points left that we have not fully explored. What are you trying to pull? Oh, well, we can't have that. All right, Mr. Wright, what questionable point would you like to explore further? The bear itself, I guess? I think it's fairly obvious that the bear itself is very questionable. Yeah, I mean, like, we haven't even questioned what the fuck it's all about, so... The bear, Mr. Wright. This was found at Mr. Ungard's mansion. However, Mr. Ungard was arrested at the hotel that night, which means that since the murder occurred, he has not had a chance to go home. Oh. I think Your Honor has already figured out what I'm trying to say. It's not possible that it was Mr. Ungard who took this bear to the mansion. Clack. Why, that's very true. We didn't consider that point, Mr. Wright. There was no way, time-wise, for the defendant to have taken this bear home. Disaster averted. You haven't gotten the best of me yet, Mr. Wright. Huh? I remember it clear as day. I remember what you muttered to yourself at Ungard's mansion. We have this area completely surrounded. There's no way for him to escape. I can't believe it. That butler, all this time, he was D-Killer. D-Killer and Ungard were working together, so to speak, and D-Killer was hiding at Ungard Mansion as its butler. What a bold move! The bear figurine was brought back to Ungard Mansion by D-Killer himself. When it looked like he was about to be arrested, Ungard had him do so. I assume because it would have been bad had the police found it during their investigation. Well, Mr. Wright, you've been quiet for a while now. This is too much. Isn't there anything I can attack at all? I have to try. I have to find something else. What will you do now, Mr. Wright? Do you plan to... I plan to expose a clearly shaky place in Mr. Powers' testimony. What? There's still another one! There is indeed, Your Honor, and it's quite questionable point. What are you trying to pull? Oh, well, we can't have that. All right, Mr. Wright, what questionable point would you like to explore further? I mean, he said there's more about Powers' testimony, so I'm gonna assume... Safe state? Safe states are for pussies. I'm a pussy. Mr. Powers' testimony, of course. Huh? I know that my testimony was kind of shaky, but... Your inanity stupefies me, Mr. Wright. We have already clarified all questionable points during the cross-examination just now. Ugh. Wasting time like this, calling the testimony questionable. I'd say it's your head that's questionable here. Ah! Okay, well... You know, it'd be like that sometimes. There was one thing in Mr. Powers' testimony that was very unclear, and that is the identity of the person who received the bear. He gave something to the person inside the room. I'm sorry, but I only saw the person's arm. As long as we don't know who it was that took the bear. We can't be sure. Ah! What is it, Mr. Powers? If you're going to scream like that, at least give us a good reason why. Oh, yeah, sorry. Actually, so, I remembered who took the bear. What? Really? I mean, I only saw his arm, but the arm, it was the Nickel Samurai's arm, I swear it. You've gotta be kidding. Are you sure of that, Mr. Powers? Yeah, I'm sure it was the Nickel Samurai. I mean, now we're gonna argue that it could have been Adrian. Order, order! It looks like you've dug your own grave yet again. How many times is that today? I've lost count. So the person who took in this little bear was the Nickel Samurai. And as we all know, Madame Guard is the Nickel Samurai. Thanks to the defense, we've made all the clear. I think we've heard enough. We now know why this bear figurine was at the defendant's mansion. As well as who it was that received the bear from the assassin in his room. Everything has become very clear. The client, who hired the assassin to commit the murder, was Mr. Madame Guard. I see no reason for this trial to continue, therefore I will now hand down my verdict. Thank you, Your Honor, for your understanding. You see, Mr. Wright, you could not win against the truth, could you? I knew it would turn out this way. After all, what Edgeworth has stated is the truth. Any last objections, Mr. Wright? Well, do I? What should I do? Did save state? I should save state? I should save state. I will now announce my... There's only one way for me to drag this trial out. The only one I have left is one dirty trick. Your Honor, right now we have these two reasons to believe my client is a client of the assassin. Reason number 1, he accepted the bear figurine from the assassin. Reason number 2, that very same figurine was found at the Ungard mansion. However, it's possible this is all the work of a certain other person. What are you saying? What I'm saying is, it's possible a different person is D-Killer's real client. The real client? Yes. Is this all you have? Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your theory. Who do you say is the real client of D-Killer and therefore the real murderer? I mean, the only person we could really argue is Adrian. So, it was Oldbag! I like how it still says security lady. I'm pretty sure her real name is Wendy Oldbag. Adrian Andrews. Hey, Andy. Hey, Mika. It still says Andy in Fire Emblem. Okay, hold on. There you go. It was Oldbag. Oldbag did it. Adrian Andrews! Yes, we already know that she tried to frame Matt Ungard for the crime. By wearing a spare nickel samurai costume. Then the nickel samurai's arm that I saw. That could have very well been Miss Andrews. I'm gonna change it again in like 10 minutes, lol. Well, somebody complained, so I gotta do what I gotta do, man. I'm a people person, you know? A people pleaser. But what about Mr. Ungard? If you would please recall yesterday's testimony. The defendant was taking a nap during the break period. That's right. Then, finding this figure at Mr. Ungard's mansion? It was a well-laid trap set by Miss Andrews. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion on this? I can't even begin to count the flaws in the defense's logic. Besides which, there is no evidence to support it. However, I can't fully discount its possibility either. What is with this trial? Come on, anyone can tell Ungard did it. I can't believe the defense would go so far as to pin the guilt onto someone else. Yeah, unbelievable. It's not something petty. It's murder of all things. This is to save Maya. This is to save Maya. Even if the whole world turns against me, this is one fight I can't give up on. Order, order, order. All disruptive parties will be forced to leave the courtroom. Your Honor. For the benefit of the defense, I'm willing to play along with this what-if game. His what-if game, Mr. Edgeworth? The prosecution is prepared to challenge the defense's theory. Mr. Wright, even you must have thought it strange and wondered, why would the criminal want this little wooden bear? He's right. D-Killer did specially bring that bear to Ungard right away. Why do you ask? I mean, why do you ask? Is there something special about it? Absolutely. And I'm sure that once the court knows its significance, the true killer's identity will become crystal clear. Contra be nice. Your Honor! The prosecution calls upon a witness who will clear all doubts against Miss Andrews. And who would that be? It's quite simple, Your Honor. Miss Adrian Andrews herself. I see. Well then, the court will take a short 10-minute recess. I thought calling it Stinky would show I was joking.
Be nice. No saying stinky words in my chat.
Yes, Your Honor. Oh, I knew it was a good idea to hold her hostage. Don't you agree, Mr. Lawyer? But I never thought in your desperation you'd try to pin the guilt onto Adrian. Ugh, I swear this demon will pay.
Mr. Nick!
Pearls? Where's Mia?
I don't know.
A really strong power suddenly called her away.
A really strong power? Maybe it was Maya.
Oh, Mr. Nick, your phone's...
It's from Gumshoe. How's it going? Have you been hanging in there, pal? Yeah, sorta. We just barely found something to latch onto. That's good, pal. And what about you? Anything yet? Have you figured out where DeKiller and Maya are? We still don't have any leads, but... What? We don't have any more time! If we had just one, even a single clue would be really helpful. I was only able to come this far because I kept thinking to myself, I've got to keep the trial going until Maya's been rescued. But have I just run out of luck this time? Is all our hope for naught? A tent! Huh? A tent? I could see a circus tent! Mia? It looks like Maya was unconscious until just a few minutes ago. As soon as she woke up, she called for me. So it was Maya that called you away. She's locked in a dusty little room right now, but I could see a circus tent outside the window about 300 feet away. Gumshoe, is there a circus in town right now? There's only one, pal, the Very Big Circus. Maya's somewhere within 300 feet radius of the main tent. What? Okay, hold on a sec, pal. Hey, draw a circle on that map, about 300 feet radius from the main tent. Hurry! And? I could see a mailbox under the window. Gumshoe, there's also a mailbox. Okay, what else? What else, Mia? I'm sorry, but it was a very small window. I couldn't see anything else. It felt like I was in an old office building. Maybe the 3rd floor or so? I heard her. An old office building. Good stuff, pal! Okay, just hang in there just a little longer, pal. Wish us luck! Good luck. I'll call you later, so don't let your battery die, okay, pal? Mia, Maya's not hurt, right? She's in a pretty bad state, Phoenix. She's being starved. Gumshoe, please hurry. Looks like we're out of time. Are you alright, Phoenix? It's only a matter of time before Maya's rescued. I can do this. I just have to make this trial last a little longer. Court will now reconvene. DeKiller, the man who murdered the victim, handed this to his client. From this, one obvious question arises. Why this particular item? I kind of want Gumshoe to rescue me.
Me too, bitch. Me too.
I believe the answer to that question will provide us with the name of the real criminal. Now then, the prosecution calls the defendant's manager, Adrian Andrews, to the stand. Currently, the witness is accused of tampering and obstruction of justice. However, you have been called to the witness stand today to ascertain who exactly is guilty of murder. I understand. Very good. Now, have you ever seen this bear before, Miss Andrews? Of course I have. You have seen it before? That's right. It's only natural that the witness has. Miss Andrews, could you please enlighten the court to this bear's secrets? All right. Why does she... Honestly, the idea of using Mia as a messenger is complete genius. Like, I'm surprised Maya thought of it. It's just so out of the box thing. Just because Maya's silly doesn't mean she's stupid. She's not stupid at all.
She's very smart, and I love her very much.
Actually, this is an elaborate puzzle. If you know the correct order, it can be taken apart one piece at a time. At its center is a small cavity with just enough room to store a small item. Because of its complexity, if you don't know the order, you can't open the bear. You can't really tell that it's a small jewelry box just by looking at it. So this figurine, it's a container of sorts, is it? Yes, looks can be deceiving, wouldn't you agree? Yes, this is a superb craftsmanship. Oh, yes, I nearly forgot. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Looks like there really was something to that bear after all. Alright, let's see. Puzzle? That's right. But it looks like an ordinary figurine. True enough. To people who don't know, I'm sure they would never guess that this was a puzzle. So what kind of puzzle is this exactly? If you know the correct order, it can be taken apart one piece at a time. So you can take it apart? And how would one go about doing that? Well, if you first turn its tail to the right and then push it in. Oh, I see. Do we gotta do the puzzle now? After that, the arms and legs are free to move and can be removed. Oh, this is most interesting. A boy and his new toy. It's like he's 5 all over again. Oh, don't mind me. Go ahead and carry on. I think he's lost it. So what do you find after you take the puzzle apart? At its center is a small cavity with just enough room to store a small item. And how do you know about this? I know because I was the one who bought it. Huh? It was a souvenir from when a friend and I went to Switzerland. It's so cute. I want to know what Adrian did in Switzerland. I hope she had a good time because I love her. That's right. It was a puzzle in the shape of a bear, so I thought it would be perfect for Juan. So it was a present from Miss Andrews. Witness, let's continue your testimony. Because of its complexity, if you don't know the order, you can't open the bear. So who exactly knew how to solve this puzzle? Only the two of us, Juan and myself. It was a souvenir from Switzerland, so I doubt there are that many people with the same bear in this country. But this looks like it can be easily broken, especially if someone wanted to get what was inside. Well, it's a toy, but it can never be the same once again. It's blah, 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 blah. Jewelry box. Who else knows that this bear is actually a small container or jewelry box? I never told anyone, and as long as Juan never told anyone either, then only the two of us knew. Then open the fucking box, Adrian. God damn. It's not complicated. The two of you, huh? Then, of course that means Mr. Engard didn't know, right? I think this is about all I'm going to get for now. Well, Mr. Wright, I think even you have come to realize that there is one very important fact we have uncovered, and that is this. This bear is actually a jewelry box, and also a puzzle. Now, that we've all agreed to this point, there's only one logical question that can come next, and that is this. What is inside this box? What's inside? That's right. That's what we are going to find out next. Witness? Yes? You are the only one who can open this. Please. There's a painful silence hanging over the courtroom. All eyes are on Miss Andrews now as she solves the puzzle and takes the bear apart. I've opened it. Is this what you wanted? What is that? It looks like a note? I don't think we need to guess at what that is, do we, Mr. Wright? It's the suicide note. The suicide note? The suicide note left by Juan Carita's former manager, Celeste Pax. Until now, no one knew of its whereabouts, but just as we suspected, it was hidden. Hidden by the victim, Juan Carita himself. Am I blue-balling again? I'm good to go now. You're gonna blue-ball the hell out of everyone if I stop now, Angie. We just found Celeste's suicide note. I'm pretty sure. And how close are we to the end? We're pretty damn close. It seems Celeste Impacts have very beautiful handwriting, and she just as beautifully signed her own name on this document. Okay, you can finish. Might as well finish. I'm hoping I could finish within a half hour. Probably not, though. This is most definitely the note she left right before she committed suicide. Finish so I can finish? Contra, don't be rude. Order! Witness, did you know about this? Yes, I did. I heard all about it from Juan. When I discovered his body, I looked for the bear. I wanted to destroy the note before it became public. But I couldn't find it anywhere. Because it had already been taken by the killer. Everything is going at Mr. Edgeworth's pace. So now that suicide note has been found, what's the next logical question? What's written on the note? That's right. At least that's what I would think. Now then, I believe it's only appropriate the contents of this note be made known. I can't stop you, can I? I went through so much just to get my hands on it. I was going to burn it, for her sake. I'm deeply sorry, but I can't allow you to persuade me to stop. Your Honor, if you could please read the contents of this note aloud. Very well. The judge's voice rang loud and clear through the dead, silent courtroom. In her note, Celeste and Pax left us a record of all that had happened to her. About being used and then thrown away by Ungard. About being engaged to Kurita and Ungard's role in destroying that. And about how she decided, in her despair, to end it all. And that's all Miss Pax had to say. There's one thing I would like to say here. The prosecution has no interest in slandering Mr. Ungard. Then what? Our intention, Your Honor, is to establish a motive for murder. Isn't that correct, witness? Yes. On the night of the murder, Juan was going to make the contents of the note public. After the post-ceremony show, he was going to hold a press conference. My word! Matt Ungard values above all else his refreshing like a spring breeze image, which is why he had to stop this note from being made public. At any cost! Sick, dude. Sweet, we got a suicide note? Radical. How fun. It's Ungard's fault that that woman killed herself. And this time, he even went so far as to kill someone to stop him from revealing that. How terrible! What a selfish person! I guess there are slimeball lawyers out there who will defend these creeps too. There's no margin for doubt here. Mr. DeKiller's client's goal was to obtain this suicide note, and the only person who needed this note that badly is the defendant. Let's not forget that the bear with the note inside was found at the defendant's house. It seems we have come to the truth at last. The defendant's motives were entirely selfish. He deserves no sympathy from anyone. Ugh. How am I supposed to escape from this one? Why the hesitation, Phoenix? Gumshoe hasn't called yet, so you know what you must do. I know. I have to carry on and buy him some more time. Okay, there are two deadly pieces of evidence. The figurine and the suicide note. Maybe somehow I can find a way out of the situation through one of those. The gavel is already in the judge's hand, Phoenix. Hurry! Suicide note or the figurine? Which one of these should I pursue? Found inside the figurine, it tells of Ungard's horrible misdeeds. A wooden puzzle with a hollow inside. Only Kurita and Andrews knew how to open it. I literally don't know. Wait, yes, Contra? I'm doing a save state. Yes, I am doing a save state. Thank you for telling me. I guess it's the figurine because, like, how did they know it was in there? Objection! Please wait, Your Honor. Oh man, look at that lawyer.
He's still going at it. It's like he doesn't care that he's trying to get a killer off the hook.
The assassin took this with him from the crime scene after murdering Mr. Kurita, at the request of his client, of course. So what's your point, Mr. Wright? I don't think it's possible that Mr. DeKiller's client was Matt Ungard. In fact, I think there's a contradiction here, because how would they know the note was inside? Fucking Miles is just like, uh-huh, bitch. Here, take this since you want to be a fucking clown. You can't tell by just looking at it that this bear is really a jewelry box. The chances that Matt Ungard thought the note was inside this bear are 0 to none. Cool, I'm glad I was on the right page with that. Oh, I didn't think of it that way. Exactly, but I did think of it that way, and I thought it was rather strange. After all, there's no reason why Mr. Ungard would ever want a jewelry box like this. I left and came back. What did I miss? All of the new Fire Emblem. It was only 10 minutes long. They really pulled a fast one on us. Damn that Nintendo. Order, order, order. You make a valid point, Mr. Wright. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion? It was just a flash, but I think I did rather well on this one. Unfortunately, I think he believes differently. Ah, Mr. Wright, you are not just a clown, but the entire circus. I believe a show of appreciation is in order. Huh? The defense seems to be in love with wishing more despair upon itself. I would like to direct the court's attention to this. What is that? It's a very small video camera, Your Honor. This type of camera is commonly used as means of spying. Spying? What the? I thought that spy camera was in my possession! Matt and Guard and the victim both thought of each other as their biggest rival. They even went so far as to use this type of item to find each other's weaknesses. And? The victim, Juan Carita, was being spied on. His personal life was being watched by none other than Matt and Guard. Order, order! Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. You don't tell me you knew about your client's spying activities. Well, sort of. Sort of is not an acceptable answer, Mr. Wright. I see you're confused, Mr. Wright. You're probably thinking, but I have the camera that was in the stuffed bear's eye. But this camera that I have is not that same one. Last night, I searched the victim's house on a hunch. Using this. Gumshoe's bug sweeper. By the way, Mr. Wright, the defendant's fingerprints were found on this camera. Mr. Engart's fingerprints were on there? Well, Phoenix, looks like those cameras were hidden all over the place, huh? What am I supposed to say to that evidence? I think this is the end. It's fairly obvious that Mr. Engard learned of the suicide note through this. He was watching the victim all along. He got me good this time. I don't have anything to counter that.
Hey, now what's that lawyer thinking?
Mommy, is that man the bad killer guy?
Shh, stop, don't look at him. The way he's sweating is just so, nasty. Phoenix? Yes, Chief? Have you figured out what you're going to do next yet? What I'm going to do next? Does running away like a frightened child work? I know it seems like Mr. Edgeworth is very close to putting the lid on this case, but in his eagerness to prove his point, he forgot one very important thing. Well, what is it, Mia? There's a piece of evidence that he really should investigate. Something he should investigate? I would really hate to see the good prosecutor get scolded for not remembering to look into the item when he had the chance. Why are you speaking in riddles all of a sudden? Alright, I think this time we finally understand everything. Well, Mr. Wright, you don't have any further objections, do you? Unfortunately, I do. What is this piece of evidence that Mia's talking about? Can I figure out what it is that still needs to be looked at, or should I let it go? Present the evidence, I guess. I have an objection, Your Honor. That was about the weakest objection I've ever heard, Mr. Wright. Objection! Your Honor! The defense has no intentions of letting this go so easily! You're beginning to sound desperate. That's just your imagination, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth, this is not like you at all! In your eagerness to prove your point, you've forgotten one very important thing. Hey, isn't that what I just said? So you're telling me that I forgot something? You're so close, Mr. Edgeworth. But there's something you really should examine about this piece of evidence. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Is it Celeste's photo? I don't know what it is. Ah! Oh no! I'm trying to get through this quickly. It's the badge? Thank you, Rasperbell. Holy shit. Bear? Why would it be the bear? That just makes Matt look even more guilty. Save state? Ah yes, present save state. The transmitter? Why would it be the transmitter? The other bear. This bear? We just talked about this! I don't... Is it because, like, we don't know where the transmitters went to, or... I don't know! So Mika's the pilot for the flesh mecha? No, that's only if you're a fetus. Fetuses are just fucking tiny, they're driving human mechas. Pregnant women are mechs! The spy camera was set and it's right I found in the victim's room. Present save state. God damn, you're good. This is going on YouTube? No, it's not! I don't know what to present! I'm very scared. The bear! It's not the bear. The music didn't stop, it's not the bear. The Celeste photo? It's not Celeste photo. Are you as drunk as me right now? I wish. The suicide note. It is the suicide note? I think that's the first time I purely bullshitted presenting evidence and got it right. That is Miss Impact's suicide note, right? Who knows? Oh my god. I mean, sure, this suicide note was found inside... the figurine hasn't been opened yet? Yeah, it was. Adrian opened it. Was found inside this bear, but this bear was in my possession until a few moments ago. Which means... the handwriting on the suicide note has yet to be analyzed. Oh. So, as to whether this pivotal piece of evidence was really written by Miss Impacts or not, has yet to be even remotely confirmed. Mr. Wright, you can't seriously be suggesting...
Mr. Wright, are you saying this suicide note is a fake?
Miss Andrews, you were the one who tried to pin this murder on Mr. Ungard. Who's to say you didn't create a fake suicide note and put it into this bear?
How dare you?
Your Honor, the defense is indiscriminately accusing the witness again. There's no evidence linking the witness to the suicide note whatsoever. But if this is a fake, then the witness is the only person who could have made it. What? Recall the witness's testimony concerning this figurine. The only person other than the victim who could solve the puzzle is the witness herself. Miss Andrews, you wrote this note, didn't you? You wrote it so you could use it to frame Madame Guard.
I did no such thing.
Right. If you're going to pronounce the suicide note a fake, then show this court some evidence to support your theory. Mr. Edgeworth, you are the one who presented this scrap of paper as evidence. That means the burden of proof lies with you, the prosecution. Ugh. That's enough. Mr. Edgeworth, can you confirm the handwriting on this suicide note? It's as the defense has stated, the handwriting has yet to be analyzed. If that's the case, it seems that yet again we've reached a point where a verdict is impossible. That's impossible! This isn't good, Phoenix. The judge is going to carry this trial over one more day. I don't think Maya will physically be able to make it another day. I didn't want to have to do this, but I don't have a choice. I request that both the prosecution and defense further investigate. Handwriting analysis my butt, that's just the lawyer trying to buy more time.
The guard is guilty! Look, any idiot can tell you that!
I think we've reached the end of the line. Guilty! 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 What is that sound? It's Gumshoe. Hello, Gumshoe? What is it with him? And what's with that sigh? Where's Maya? What happened to Killer? He got away. What? I'm sorry, pal. I really am. I don't know what to say besides I'm sorry. I wish there was some way to make it up to you. I really do. Anyway, what's going on? We found his hideout, pal, but the two of them were already gone. This is terrible. I'm gonna keep looking for them, pal. Don't you worry. Just need a little more time. But don't tell me we don't have any more. Guilty, 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 guilty. Do you hear that? They're calling for his head. Mr. Wright, I can't. For us to come this far and... Oh! What is it? Let me talk to Mr. Edgeworth. I can't do that. Mr. Wright, would you please get a hold of yourself? Yes, Your Honor. I'm about to end today's proceedings. You may take your phone calls after... Hold on, Your Honor. Edgeworth, catch! Mr. Edgeworth? Please, you've got to buy us some more time. Court is in session. Edgeworth! Why are you such a dick? I'm sorry, Your Honor. You were saying? Mr. Wright! This is a court of law! I'm sorry, Your Honor, but... I'm reluctant to do this. However, it appears that I have no choice but to suspend proceedings until tomorrow. This time I really can't do anything. The court is now adjourned for the day! Please wait, Your Honor. Edgeworth? What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I humbly request another 30 minutes of Your Honor's time. For what purpose? We can perform the necessary test on this piece of evidence in that time. But can you really obtain your results in 30 minutes? I believe we can, Your Honor. But wouldn't it be better if we adjourn for today and reconvene tomorrow? 30 minutes! Please, Your Honor. That's all I am asking for. Please, Your Honor! Very well. At the prosecution's request, this court will now take a 30-minute recess. But be advised, I will not allow another recess today. I'm not sure if this is helping or hurting us. The court will now take final recess of the day. I'm not the one starving, Contra, it's Maya. I just want a burrito right now. Right? Well, what's going on with Maya's situation? The killer. It looks like he got away again. 30 minutes? We can't find her in that time. Ugh. Report! Is that Mr. Edgeworth? We don't have time, just spit it out. Right. It looks like we just missed them, sir. But the killer left a few things behind by accident to get in his rush to get away. A few things? Can we use any of them as evidence? Ho ho ho! I thought you'd ask, pal! I've got the things he left with me right now, and I'm on my way over! Oh, this is one of my favorite parts of this entire case. Are you ready? Really? That's odd. Any items like that are usually sent to the crime lab first. We don't have time to wait for those guys, sir. When those guys weren't looking, I swiped the stuff and ran. What? Well, I'm not a detective anymore, so I had to. I'm really sorry, sir, but I've got to put the law on hold for now. Sounds bad. I hope he doesn't get in too much trouble over this. With my hunk of junk car, I'd say I'd be there in about 20 minutes, sir. Don't worry, I'll be there. Wait for me. All right, just get here in one piece. I'm on a mission and no one can stop me now, sir. No one! I'm pulling out all the stops and running every red light. Items left by the murderer, huh? Maybe there's something among them that will be decisive enough to end this. Hey, what's wrong? Detective Gumshoe, answer me! No one can stop. I'm... What happened? It sounded like he had an accident. I'm guessing his cell phone broke as well. What was he thinking? We've got to hurry and call for help! We have no idea where he is. His cell phone is broken and he wasn't driving a patrol car, so no radio either. Also, if we don't get to those items before they do, the police will take the possession of them. No! We can't let that happen! Well, if there is a way we can find out where he is, then we stand a chance. Why, oh why did Gumshoe have to get into an accident now? Is there any way to find out exactly where he is at this moment? Francisca. That's right! There is a way! What? How? I'm sure we can find out where Detective Gumshoe is through this! Through Francisca? Do I just present Francisca? Why are you bringing up Francisca at a time like... Oh, I see. I'll try to get in contact with her. The chances are slim, but she's all we have. Francisca, will she even want to help us? Edgeworth, what is it? I don't have any right to judge anyone ever again. I know my client is guilty, but what I'm doing now, I'm pinning the guilt onto someone totally innocent and using the evidence to do so. It might be my turn to say defense attorney Phoenix Wright chooses death. Right? It doesn't suit someone like you to cry useless tears. Whether you did your job well or not, that can only be seen after the verdict has been decided. The verdict. Is Prosecutor Edgeworth here? Yes, bailiff. There's a phone call for you, sir. They said it was extremely urgent. They're probably finished with the handwriting analysis. I have to go take this call. In the meantime, Think hard about what it is you must do. He didn't even have to ask, he knew Francisco was tracking Gumshoe. Edgeworth knows Francisca very well, so... So concerned about the evidence, but you know Gumshoe probably just fucking died. You don't know. Court will now reconvene. I assume both sides are ready. Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. I can understand the defense acting like this. However, why do you also seem distraught, Mr. Edgeworth? That is... It's nothing, Your Honor. What's wrong with Edgeworth? It looks like something unexpected just happened to him. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you could please tell the court the results of the handwriting analysis on Miss Impax's suicide note? Yes, Your Honor. Unfortunately, we have discovered that the suicide note is a forgery. What? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This note was not written by Miss Impax herself. It's a fake. There it is. Order, order, order! Mr. Edgeworth, would you care to explain what is going on? If this was not written by Miss Impax, then who wrote it? We would need more time to do a more detailed analysis. However, it appears that the handwriting matches that of the victim, Mr. Juan Carita. Mr. Carita? Well, well. It looks like Miss Impax never left a suicide note after all. She never wrote anything about Engard. However, Your Honor, even though the suicide note is indeed a fake, Mr. Engard could not have known that, and so the facts remain unchanged. Acting under the assumption that it was real, he had plotted to possess it. That does sound very plausible. This theory that Engard had no idea that the suicide note was fake, something seems a little wrong with it. I mean, then why would he want the bear? He still didn't know it was in the bear. The defense believes that the theory that the prosecution has stated contradicts testimony. If everything the prosecution has proven up to this point is true, then it's impossible for Mr. Engard to not have known it was a fake. Or is it, oh shit, now I'm confused. Cause I'm assuming the spy camera? Yeah, but I don't feel like that would... Okay. What is this little item called again? A video camera, Your Honor. Well, a very small one, but... Oh, that's right, a camera. Ah, you kids and your fancy toys nowadays. Mr. Edgeworth, earlier you claimed that Mr. Engard knew of the existence of this note. Oh, okay, I guess with that logic, yeah. Because he was spying on the victim, isn't that right? If that were true, then this means Mr. Engard would have known that the victim forged the note. Ugh. So then the defendant knew the suicide note was a fake. And if that's true, then the situation has suddenly changed in a very dramatic way. Exactly, Your Honor. The prosecution's theory as to what Mr. Engard's motive for murder was. It has suddenly disappeared into thin air. But, Your Honor, it's not as if Mr. Engard monitored Mr. Carito 24 hours a day. Perhaps the victim wrote the note in a place Mr. Engard didn't know of. Well, right back at you, Mr. Edgeworth. Why don't you show us some proof that the victim made the forgery at an unknown place? Order, order, order. Mr. Edgeworth, it looks like this time it's you who has dug his own grave. As I figured. Huh? As you figured? As I figured, it came down to this after all. Mr. Edgeworth, you're not making any sense. When I heard the results of the handwriting analysis, I thought this might happen. The question is, what next? What next? If the prosecution can't prove Mr. Engard's motive through the evidence, then we must prove it from another angle. Well, I agree with you there. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call a witness to the stand at this time. Oh, well, that's fine. However, this witness is a little unusual. Edgeworth stuttering? This is not like him at all. Unusual? Well, what sort of witness is this person? I love this part. Mr. Edgeworth. This witness is one who is perfectly fit to answer once and for all the question of who was it that hired Shelley to kill her to commit murder? That's impossible. Who in the... No such person exists who can answer that question with such certainty. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth, who is this witness? It's It's, yes, go on! Who is it? The man himself. Mr. Shelley DeKiller. Oh, Mr. DeKiller. What?! Wait! Shelley DeKiller?! You mean the killer? I mean the assassin? Yes, Your Honor. He's coming here? To the witness stand? Well, yes, in a manner of speaking. I recognize that this is a very unusual circumstance, so I ask for your permission. Well, Mr. Wright? Yes? Is this alright with you? Do I have a choice here? I can't really do much else to drag this trial out. The defense has no objections, Your Honor. I wonder if it really is alright to do this? Very well then, the prosecution calls our witness to the stand. Edgeworth, is there no other way left to us? Now then, witness, your name and your, occupation, please. Very good, sir. My name is Shelley DeKiller, and I am a professional assassin. I say, what is going on here? Your Honor, how can you remain so calm? And what is the meaning of this two-way radio? Actually, Your Honor, it was delivered to me just now, and it came with a condition. As long as we do not trace its source, Mr. DeKiller will testify to this court. So this must be what the urgent phone call he got earlier was about. Oh no, this will not do. I cannot allow this in my court. First of all, we can't even be sure this is really Mr. DeKiller himself. Witness, please present some sort of proof that you are in fact Shelley DeKiller. I understand. Please wait a second.
I'm so hungry.
Maya! Maya! A voice? Mr. Wright, can you confirm anything from this? The defense has no objections to this person. We are satisfied that this man is indeed Shelley DeKiller. More like Smelly DeKiller. It looks like we have run into yet another unexpected turn of events. Well, it doesn't seem like we have too many choices under these circumstances, so... Now then, witness, there's one thing I would like to confirm before we speak of anything else. And what would that be? At the request of a client, you killed Mr. Juan Carita. Is this correct? It is as you say. I did indeed kill Mr. Carita. Now that we have answered that, let's move on to the name of your client. Very well. This is all just a bad dream. Yes, that's it, a bad dream. Shelley DeKiller, what's he going to say? Mika, I thought you said no smelly words?
I said no stinky words.
There's something I must first state. To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between a client and himself. And that is the reason I'm here today on the witness stand. It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name of my client. Mr. DeKiller seems to be a very clever man. I'd almost say he seemed to be mocking us. While he may appear to be our enemy, Your Honor, Mr. DeKiller is only stating the truth. He is no hypocrite. He has always stood by his one belief. You mean about this trust between his clients and himself thing? That it seems to be a level of trust beyond what people like me can comprehend. Well, Mr. Wright, are you ready to cross-examine the witness? Yes, Your Honor. There's no way to know what's coming next, so stay cool and collected, Phoenix. Mika, you're still playing? Yep. I am almost to the end of this case, boy. We're gonna make it. We're so close I can taste it. The trust between you and your client? I provide my services in a fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about me and my identity. What's it taste like?
Victory.
If too many people knew my face, it would be quite troublesome. And that's why you're testifying in this manner. This is the first time one of my clients has ever been accused of murder. I must preserve the DeKiller name so my clients can trust me. But couldn't someone stab you in the back and break your trust? It has never happened before, but if it ever did, yes, that person wouldn't be my client for very long. They would certainly... That's enough! Please, no more! Very well, it was only a hypothetical anyway. We understand, so please tell us the name of your client. I'm afraid that I cannot do that. I still have a few things to say before I do. That egomaniacal... It's not good for your health to be so aggravated. You won't live very long if you let everything bother you. Somehow, that coming from an assassin makes it less than comforting. I don't really care about all this extra fluff, just tell us the name already. Patience, try to calm down a little. It's important to try and understand his mindset. He seems very steadfast and closed, so you're going to have to work to get him to talk. I'm not his therapist, you know. Something I must first state. We can hear anything you have to say later. Can you please just tell us your clients? I don't think you understand your place, Mr. Attorney. I said this is something I must first state. Do you know what the word first means? No! I don't! Tell me what it means! Nothing is more important than trust between a client and himself. I think I need to press all the statements. I know that there's something I say. That is the reason I'm here today on the witness stand. I didn't press this one yet. That seems a little strange to me. I mean, you're about to tell us the name of your client. I would think that this would be very bad for them. It doesn't matter to me. This client has already broken the rules and acted outside of their prescribed role. Their role? This person tried to implicate another of the crime in order to save themselves, and this is a trespass that cannot be forgiven. You? Who gave you the right to be so high and mighty? To the gentleman who spoke just now, excuse me, but would you care to die? No, I didn't say anything. The judge had better watch himself. Okay. I think I'm supposed to get a bonus statement at some point. Come on, give me another statement. I think. Because I'm thinking I'm supposed to press them in a certain order. Yeah, there we go. The trust between you and your client. I provide my services in a fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about me and my identity. These are the roles and duties an assassin and his client are to carry out. I'm sorry, but I was wondering about something you just said. You said that your client had already broken the rules. A person who frames another is the worst kind of human. And that's why you feel you can betray this person? I have no trust relation with a client who can't understand their assigned role. Just my luck, an assassin with a conscience. Who would have figured? Now then, everyone, do you think you can understand my logic? This case just keeps getting better and better. If you can't, then I'm afraid we can't proceed. Everyone understands your point, I think, really. In that case, I believe I'm prepared to disclose the information you seek. You've made it crystal clear that you value trust over all else. I believe we are ready. Excellent. Tell us the name of your client. What is it? Now I can't bring myself to ask the client's name. If you can't ask it, Mr. Wright, then I will. Witness! What is the name of your client who requested the murder of Mr. Juan Corrida? That person's name is... Adrian Andrews. What?! Witness! That's not who you told me it was earlier! Pray tell, what are you talking about, Mr. Prosecutor? I should think I know my own client, and it is Adrian Andrews. J. Dalbert 1, I think was your username. Thank you for following. What? This can't be. On the phone earlier. What's going on here? My guess is that Mr. DeKiller just stabbed Mr. Edgeworth in the back. Stabbed Edgeworth in the back? I'm sure in order to get an audience with this court, Mr. DeKiller told him a different name. Madame Garde, perhaps. I knew it. This is outrageous. I was deceived. This witness is telling a very serious lie. But you're the one who summoned this witness. You, Shelley DeKiller. My testimony is the truth. The defendant at the moment is Madame Garde, am I correct? All I wish to do is help procure his acquittal. Do everyone see the judge just said H? Wow, all of a sudden it feels like we can actually win this. Yeah. What in God's name is this fucking kangaroo court bullshit? I know, right, love? The prosecution has failed to provide a motive and instead provided the suicide note, which is a forgery created by the victim. Furthermore, there is a possibility the defendant himself knew it was a fake. Did I just see Mia? You sure did. But most definitive of all, we have heard from the assassin himself the name of his client. Mr. DeKiller's client who has requested the murder was not the defendant at all. No. With all this evidence, it is obvious to me that this means that Mr. Madangard is innocent. I seem to have caused you all a bit of confusion. Please, continue your discussion and call me when you have reached a verdict. Bailiff, please bring Miss Adrian Andrews in immediately. What now? With the way this is going, Angard will be found innocent. This may be our last chance to save Maya. Yeah, but Edgeworth is right. DeKiller is lying. And Angard, my client, I know he's guilty. Can I live with myself if I win this? Who would have believed that the prosecution's own witness would absolve the defendant? Your Honor, the prosecution requests permission to further question the witness. Shelley DeKiller is certainly lying under oath. It wasn't me. Or, I'm sorry. I thought it was the judge talking. It wasn't me! Listen, everyone, please! That testimony just now, it was all one big lie! Miss Andrews, the suicide note may have been a fake, but that man, Matt, he's the reason Celeste died. And Juan's death, it was all because he got pulled into Matt's twisted world. That testimony just now, you have to believe me. It was a horrible, horrible lie. But Mr. DeKiller himself has testified. He has named you as his client. No, that's not true. Also, there's quite a bit of evidence that points to you. The knife and the button, donning the Nickel Samurai's costume. But that's... You even have a motive. We know that Miss Celeste Impax was a large part of your life. You wanted to follow her, and you wanted revenge against the two who hurt her. I would say you have plenty of reasons to want them both dead. No, Mr. Wright. You know the truth. Tell them. Tell them the real story. Who the real killer is. Tell them. Please, help me. Yes, I know the truth. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. I believe we've reached the end of this trial. Therefore, I ask the defense for any final words or opinions. I have to decide. Are the crackles on my end or Mika's end? Am I fucking crackling? Okay, thank God. Do I take the not guilty verdict and save Maya, or do I throw this chance away and wait for Gumshoe's new evidence? What am I supposed to do? I think one of these gets you the bad ending, but I actually don't remember which one. I'm gonna say request the trial continue. Phoenix? I can't do it, Mia. I can't accept a not guilty. You're a lawyer. I know. But Madame Guard is a killer, a murderer. I can't let him get away with this. I can't let someone else take the fall. If I let Miss Andrews be convicted, then I'm no better than Ungard. And even though I don't want to admit it, I have to face the fact that it is because of Edward that I know now the real truth. He could have gotten Ungard convicted so many times over, but he never took a single one of those chances. If I take this verdict right now, I'd be betraying his trust. His trust? I never thought about it until now. I trust him? Yes, you do. Mr. Wright, your opinion, please. The defense requests that we be allowed to further question Mr. DeKiller. Am I hearing you correctly, Mr. Wright? Right. But, that witness has cleared your client through his testimony. Your job here is done. I'm not done yet. To see through this witness's lies and find the truth. That is my job, Your Honor. There's still more evidence to look at. And I'm sure that once those pieces arrive in this very courtroom, a miracle will occur.
But the miracle never happened.
Very well. The trial will continue. Mr. Edgeworth, please re-establish connection with Mr. DeKiller. Right away, Your Honor. Has a verdict been reached? Before that, we would like to talk with you a little more. About? All you needed from me was the name of my client. What else could you need me for? Well, actually, we would like to hear everything you know about this case. That is how things are, usually done. What is he talking about? Usually done? But what shall we have him testify about now? Mr. DeKiller, if you don't mind, please testify about your client in more detail. You legal people and your you legal people and your procedures. Is it any wonder no one likes to go to court? About my client, part 2! Ah! As I've already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client. However, one thing I simply cannot overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime. My client did it to frame another for the crime. While pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene, Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Juan Carrito was dead. But even more appalling is the creation and planting of the knife and button. That act is what I was referring to when I said my client had broken the rules. I already remember what the contradiction's gonna be, but I know I have to press all these statements. Ah! And for this time, everything has I have yelled at what the fuck so many times. God damn, this fucking case is kicking me in the balls and then fucking sucking my dick. Okay, Lob, calm down. We still have the cross-examination to do. But you don't have to question testimony like this, do you, Mr. Wright? Your Honor, the defense will question the witness. As if I have a choice here. Huh? Why? What this witness has said is nothing but beneficial to the defense's case. I don't give a shit. If you scrutinize the testimony, then I'll expose the lies in that oh-so-beneficial testimony, I suppose. I don't understand what's going on anymore. That makes 2 of us. As I have already stated quite a few times, Hey, come on, get through this text fast. What is it, Mr. Wright? If I press him to the wrong way, it might raise suspicions on his end, but I have to do something to waste even more time. Witness, about requesting a hit. Yes. How much is your fee? I see you are also quite a dark-hearted man, Mr. Attorney. Holy fuck. Huh? If you would like to talk business, we can do so after the trial. No. I'm not thinking of hiring Mr. Wright. Yes. You want to kill me. You want me dead, don't you? What? Why would you think something like that? You're guilty, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You are hereby declared guilty. Witness, let's continue. Why did you disclose the name of your client? They are your client, are they not? Next statement, beach. I take the offer, but I don't have the money. I would like to think that most people wouldn't be able to overlook a person hiring another to kill. If I had a problem with such a thing, I wouldn't be very effective at my job. Yeah. Well, a change in occupation might be good for you. However, I will say this, even though I am the one that does the deed, my clients are always the real guilty party. That goes without saying, Mr. DeKiller. And their fate is to live with the knowledge of their guilt on their shoulders. However, my client this time thought that they could run away from their guilt. My client did it to frame another for the crime. Okay, come on, let's go! Are you talking about the button and the knife? Yes, and my business card. Oh, this card. So that no one has to waste their time. I always make a come on! You try to make things. My business card makes it very easy to identify who carried out the service. He's pretty devoted to his work. But to disregard everything and to go and stab the deceased with a knife, and even hide my card from sight, that is something I cannot overlook. It's really hard to tell if he's being truthful or not without him being here. While pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene, I want Mika to shout objection once. Objection! How's that? So you're winning. Most clients wouldn't do such a thing. That is correct, however, usually most people create an alibi for themselves. If you use my services, Mr. Attorney, I would suggest your plan for your alibi too. Peek the audio? Like right into my microphone? No, I already told you I have the intention of ever using your services. Don't peek the audio at 1 AM. Yes, yes, yes. Yell. I want my ears gone. Y'all are weird. Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Juan Carrito was dead. From the very beginning? That is correct. From before my client visited the room, all of my clients know precisely what the situation is at all times. I wonder if that's really true. That's odd. But even more appalling is the creation and planning of the knife and the button. I'm going to assume I have to press all of these statements. I just don't want to end up flipping around. What do you mean by why? Well, fiddling around at the scene of a crime is pretty risky, and why would someone who has requested a murder go to the crime scene anyway? That is true. I assume it was probably done to frame Mr. Ungard. If that's the case, then why didn't the person just request that you do it? Sadly, that is not possible, huh? My job is to kill. That is all, and to leave my business card behind, naturally. The business card is so my clerics may escape blame. To protect them is my duty. Even if they say it's for revenge, setting someone else up to take your fall. That act is what I was referring to when I said my client had broken the rules. And that's all you have to testify? Yes, and I pray that I will never be called to the stand again. Again? As in you plan to continue? I must, as I have yet to find a person to take my place and become the fourth successor. Actually, how would you like a new life, Mr. Attorney? Excuse me? No, I'm fine, really. Are you really now? I wonder what kind of man the judge thinks I am now. What are you gonna do now, Phoenix? Die. All I can do is expose him. That's true. However, you realize that will be very bad for our client, right? Who cares? I'm so confused. But the one thing I know for sure is I can't let this trial end yet! Woo! I'm assuming I have to press all these statements again! Do it again, do it again, do it again! Come on, come on, come on, come on! Go, 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 go! Chug, 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 chug! Hold objection! I want to be a part of that Assassin's Creed. Wow. Mika, you have no alcohol? I don't. You called me out. All I had was some coffee. Come on. I know that there's an additional statement we're digging to get. We're like scraping to the bottom of the sandbox and all we're finding is cat poop. Come on! Where are those nickels? I know there's nickels in this sandbox. I know the contradiction. Do you really? I am the contradiction. Okay, Angry Contrarian. Why don't you change your name to Angry Contradiction? Huh? Since you're so cool. Wait, okay, so I guess I don't get another statement. Shit. The contradiction was the friends we made along the way. Too true. As I've already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client. However, one thing I simply cannot overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime. My client did it to frame another for the crime. While pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene, Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Juan Carita was dead. But even more appalling is the creation and planting of the knife and the button. That act is what I was referring to when I said my client had broken the rules. Fuck. I thought I was gonna get another statement. Shit! I pressed all the statements twice. There can't be more. She didn't know he was dead at first, though. Yeah, but that was what she claimed. Present Adrian Andrews? My client... I know the contradiction when it's found, I'll say it. Bitch, I don't got time! I'm trying to finish this! I like to imagine Mika as a lawyer and saying this all out loud. Bitch! My client did it to the frame, another... Yeah, I'm trying to, I told Andy that at this point I really need to finish the case. And I'm trying to finish it! While pretending to be the first person to grab their body and enter the scene, Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Juan Carita was dead. I mean, she didn't, but I think what D-Killer is trying to set up here is that what Adrian said was a lie. So... I don't... There's 3 or 4 more cross-examination statements. Do you want me to just stop here? Because there's nothing left to stream of this game now. Just finish it? Okay! I'm pretty sure D-Killer is supposed to mess up Adrian Andrews' gender. Yeah, but he didn't, so that's not relevant, obviously. There's nowhere in here where he's misgendered Adrian, so that's obviously not the contradiction. Do I press all the statements again like a fucking a-hole? See, I'm like your fucking weird soccer mom now. I censor myself. I say stuff like a-hole and pee-pee. And fart. Here's a fun childhood story for you. Do you know why I quit Girl Scouts when I was a child? We got a new leader and she couldn't even like, what was it? She couldn't say the word pee. I don't remember what it was, but we were reading something and she was like, pee is a bad word. I'm going to say potty. And we were all like 13 at this point, so I was like, no. And then that's why I quit. Is that a good reason? I think so. Present the wine glass on the 5th statement. DeKiller's so-called client apparently never knew of Kurita's death. But that's so... Okay. That's stupid, because, like, the way DeKiller is phrasing it, he's making it seem like whatever Adrian said was a lie. So him being like, she never knew he was dead is like an accusation. And it's, a fucking tomato juice glass with some fingerprints on it doesn't prove anything! She poured it for him, yeah? Yeah, it could have been a fabrication! It doesn't prove anything! This is fucking horse doo-doo. Thank you so much for taking the time to testify, Mr. DeKiller! What is the meaning of that attitude? When Adrian Andrews entered the victim's room, your client had no idea Juan Kurita had been murdered. But how? How do you know that? From this wine glass, Your Honor. That's bullshit evidence. It's bullshit and I hate it. Fuck the evidence. Yo, fuck the evidence. The glass. Mr. DeKiller's supposed client thought Mr. Kurita had only fainted, which is why this glass of tomato juice was poured for the victim. But isn't that just a part of Adrian Andrews' calculated plan? That is not possible, Your Honor. This glass bears the fingerprints of that person. Had this been planned, they would have never left their fingerprints behind. Oh yeah, I guess that is, oh. Damn, he's got a point though. Strangely enough, I had the same exact thought just now. Witness, how do you explain this strange phenomenon? Isn't it a waste of time to ask about such a minor detail? It's not a very important point anyway, correct? I'm afraid you're mistaken. If Adrian Andrews really is your client as you claim, then your client should have had knowledge of Mr. Kurita's death. If not, then that can only mean that Adrian Andrews was never your client at all. How strange. Yes? Why is it that the attorney has yet to raise an objection at this absurd situation? Phoenix, if DeKiller figures out what we're up to, we're in a real trouble. We're in a real trouble, apparently. Yeah, I know. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm surprised! You know you can't say things like that without any evidence! Sorry? That sounded like an awfully weak objection to me. Anyway, I'm positive there was a contradiction in that testimony. The prosecution requests further testimony concerning when the request was taken. Very well. Right now, I have to buy us more time. While we wait for the items DeKiller left behind to get here, I just know that the very outcome of this trial lies with those items. This request came to me, about a week ago. It was a request for my services on the night of the awards ceremony. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. This is what occurred. I trust my memory, and I believe I have made no mistakes. What a shitty-ass fucking testimony, bitch. Who was it out there that says they like to fucking picture me as a lawyer saying this in the courtroom? I hope you really picture me saying, what a shitty-ass fucking testimony, bitch, as the lawyer. So you physically met your client, huh? That is correct. Meeting one's client is the first step to building trust, in my opinion. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. You got it. This request came to me, about a Whoa, week ago. Are you sure? Yes, I'm quite sure. I, of course, had my own preparations. I was barely able to, when you request my service, Mr. Tony, I hope you will keep that in mind. I don't want to kill nobody! In any case, my client this time had a very specific date and time in mind. A specific date and time. On the night of the awards ceremony. Did you ask why on that specific night? No. I tried to fulfill all the conditions of my client's request, but as for why, I only had my suspicions. Your suspicions, huh? So what are these suspicions you had? Why did your client request that night? I'm sure it was all for the bear. The bear? My client spoke of it. I'm sure there will be a bear-shaped figurine in Wankrita's room. I would like you to retrieve that item for me. You must be talking about this bear puzzle. Inside the figurine was a suicide note. Naturally, the victim brought it with him to his hotel room. He was planning to publicly disclose its contents at the press conference after all. That is correct, and if I had not done the job that night, I would not have known where that bear figurine was. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance? Yes, it was extremely important. The testimony just now was so fucking important, I'm gonna shit my fuck. And that is... the client knew the secret of the bear figurine. Huh. Why is everyone so quiet? Mr. Wright, I think all of us already knew that. Oh, really? Witness, please continue with your testimony. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters, okay? So you physically met Adrian Andrews, right? Of course I did. What was that? What was that brief pause? Press further. Witness, I would like for you to give us a few more details. I always meet my clients as a matter of principle. I've never taken a request by telephone or mail. And why is that? That's because I value the trust between a client and myself above all else. And the only way to establish that is to speak to the client without looking them in the eye. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance? It was very important. Of course, it was very important, Your Honor. So important I'm gonna shit my fuck. If Mr. DeKiller had met his client before the murder, it is unlikely he's mistaken. So you're saying that his client really was Adrian Andrews? Well, I guess so. You see, it is just as I said. I'm so lost. Who the heck am I supposed to be helping here? Calm down, Phoenix. Think carefully and relax. Now then, would the witness please continue? I need him to add a statement! So your client was Adrian Andrews? That's correct. Well, he says the two of them met, but if they did, then there shouldn't be anything wrong with the killer's testimony. Well, there doesn't seem to be anything strange this time around. You have to draw more information for him, but you can't draw his suspicion. If you do that, you should be able to find a flaw in his testimony somewhere. Talk about a delicate balance. Just do this shit again. I know I have to press the statements, man. So what are the suspicions about your client's request? It was all about the bear. We had this, okay. It was not important. Sounds plausible, but in the end, it's just his conjecture. No, Your Honor, I don't think it's very important. Well then, witness, please continue. Make like Elsa and let it go? God. Let it go. Let it go. Can't hold it back anymore. I haven't done this yet. Need to find something more definitive to catch this guy on. Can we believe that your testimony up to this point has been reliable? Yes. I've pressed all the statements. Mika, yes, what? Contra what? The request came to me, about a week ago. It was a request for my services on the night of the awards ceremony. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. That is what occurred. I trust my memory and I believe I have made no mistakes. I'm gonna assume one of these... Is it the wine glass again? What the fuck are you talking about, Quaint? a week ago. It was a request from my service on the night of the awards ceremony. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. That is what occurred. I trust my memory and believe- I was like, Quaint, don't! Don't! I'm supposed to press a certain statement again or some bullshit. He said that a specific date and time, and then, wait, what did Contra say? It was not important. Then he would say he talked with Andrews until he thought he could trust him. When asked if this is important, say it was very important. I thought I did already, and then I got shut down. Do I have to do it again? Alright. I don't remember what statement that was on either. Yes, I know, but I don't have that statement unlocked, Contra. God. It wasn't this one. Where? It's not an unlockable one, maybe? That doesn't... Press further. I've never taken a request by telephone or mail. Why is that? It was very important. Yeah, I'm like... Mika, I can't read this fast. I'm sorry! Y'all are stressing me out because you're like, press it on this statement. I'm like, the statement I don't have? Mika, that wasn't important. What? What do you mean that wasn't important? Y'all are making me feel bad. Third statement, not important, I think. Okay. Why he meets his clients is not important, and that wasn't the point. Witness, please stop sidestepping my questions. What do you mean by that? My question was, did you really meet Adrian Andrews in person? Yeah, guys, you have to be more concise about what you're telling me to do, not just be like, you need this statement. Cool! I've already told you, Mr. Wright, I did. It was only through talking with him, yeah, see, face-to-face I began to trust him. That's when I thought, I can trust this person as a client. It's true what they say about talking face-to-face. Judge, how did you not notice that? Yeah, that was extremely important. If I heard what I think I heard just now, then I think I've got him. Your Honor, I believe the testimony just now was of utmost importance. Huh? Really? If that's the case, witness, please include the statement just now in your testimony. There we go. Are you fine if I put in this peculiar story? It's a bit gross. No. Whatever, if it's gross, then just don't subject my viewers to it. I would like to go over this one more time. You met Adrian Andrews at a bar and took the request at that time? Yes, that is correct. And that's when you thought he was trustworthy? How many times must I repeat myself? Yes, that is correct. I'm sorry, but that's an impossible tale. What? Shelley DeKiller. You have never met the real Adrian Andrews. Why would you say that? Because you made one very big slip-up about her. So what is the issue? What did you say just now? About her? If you have ever met Adrian Andrews in person, One look would have told you that she is a woman. Oh! Oh, we broke the walkie-talkie. Now we can't talk to the killer anymore. Sucks. Case is over. Fuck, Ma's dead. Lol. Rafflecopter. Order in the court. Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this? This witness testified to the following. That he always meets face-to-face with his clients. It's just a prank my brother played on me and it was disgusting. It's appropriate but disgusting. Keep it to DMs then, please. Taking the request. I'm not gonna tell you again. Keep it to DMs then. But he has never met Adrian Andrews in person. Yes, Your Honor. That is exactly the point. Maya is a ghost. Hamburgers. That means the killer's client could have been Miss Adrian Andrews. Mr. Edward, I understand your logic on this one. However, why would the assassin make such a basic mistake? I believe it has to do with her name, Your Honor. Her name? Yes, Adrian Andrews is without a doubt a very androgynous name. Yes, I see. Unluckily for Mr. the Killer, the entire time he was on the stand, no one stated Adrian Andrews' gender, and so he simply picked the wrong gender to go with. What? What is going on? Shelley the Killer, this court demands an explanation. I think somehow I must have mixed up this client with another. So does that mean you remember something different now? Yes, of course. Please, if you would allow me to testify once more. I know he's just gonna spit out more lies. Very well, but this time, please give us the truth and nothing but the truth! I mean, we still want to be stalling for time, so... Oil. Yes, now I remember. I took that request by mail. There have been times when I took a job without having met my client. The request was for the murder of Juan Carita and 2 or 3 other small things. When I saw the name at the end of the letter, I thought my client to be a man. So you never take requests by mail or phone, but then you did? He didn't mention anything about a letter in his earlier testimony, which means he's definitely lying. Be careful, Phoenix. If you break the assassin's testimony completely, it's over for us. I know, I can't make him suspicious, but I think we're okay. Like, we can do this. As long as he's standing there across from me, no matter how strong of a punch I throw, he'll counter it. Now then, let's begin the cross-examination. How does the radio show emotions? Anime. Shoot, son. Is that one of your animes? Shoot, I know thems. I seen that before. Shoot! Yes, now I remember I took the request by mail. But didn't you just say that you always meet your clients? Yes, I suppose I did say that. However, there are some clients for whom a meeting is simply not possible. But didn't you meet your client this time? No, I did not. Oh, come now. Let's stop with this game of cat and mouse. Using your silkiest voice is not going to work on me. Silky. Alright then, cough it up and confess. Mr. Wright, you can't badger witness with such harsh words. You're a lawyer, so behave like one and present evidence instead of mindlessly yelling. Don't tell me what to do! Now then, do you have any proof that Mr. Dealer met with his client? Right, do I? No, I don't. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I don't have any proof. Oh, I see. Then your line of questioning was just another waste of time. Yeah, usually it is. Sadly for us, Your Honor, that is the nature of right and wrong. Ah, get it? He said right and wrong. And why would you not meet a certain clients? Certainly, I have been receiving more requests. If I meet each and every client, I would lose some nice business opportunities. Nice business opportunities, on top of which the times have changed. It is now the age of information and computers, correct? Well, I have joined the times, and now take requests via electronic mail. Electronic mail? Do you have to mail that in a special insulated envelope? It's called email, you son of a bitch. I despise the shortening of words. What I meant to electrobot is what commonly referred to as email. Tunes. Games. Characters. Downloads. Oh. Email. Edgeworth is a clown for that pun? I agree. 2 or 3 other things? Yes, and what were these other things? A few other things that have nothing to do with this case. What should I do? Should I let him slide with that? I'd be really bad if I push this button the wrong way and get it mad. I want to know what it is. Whether or not they're related to this case is for the court to decide. Mr. Attorney. Yes? Everything I've said from the beginning has been nothing but beneficial to your client, which is why I wonder what is pushing you to continue with this cross-examination. Could it be that you are planning to betray your own client? That's... Look at that animation. It's kind of cool. I smell the stench of a backstabber, and should you turn out to be one... Wait! Uh-oh. This is looking really bad. I shouldn't press my luck. Alright, I have to think. Is this worth pursuing? Just let it go. The killer sounds like one sharp man. I should try to find... Press your luck even further? I'm not doing that without save stating, you fool. I think you were supposed to press? Are you fucking for real? This game trying to fake my ass out. Oh shit. Now you're saying you never saw your client's face, not even once? I did, once. It was when I went to give my client the figurine. Yes, I see. But Miss Andrews was wearing a mask at the time. A mask? Well, then you didn't see her face! God damn. Do you have any problems with this piece of testimony? Not okay. I think I can pull something out of what he said, but it would be real bad if I did something and made him over... Okay. Okay, so y'all are saying I should go ahead and keep pressing this, and I save stated, so I'm okay with that now. Press further, and then he's gonna get mad, and he's gonna be like, you son of a bitch, look at me, do wacky radio stuff, woo! Yeah, fuck it, press it further. Witness, this is a very important matter. Please cooperate and tell us what these other jobs your client requested were. If it's truly that important, I suppose I don't have much of a choice. The bear figurine. The bear figurine? After the assassination of the target, I was to find that figurine. I was told that this job was just as important as the actual killing. And where was that figurine? It was inside Mr. Kurita's suitcase. And then, what did you do next? I handed it over to my client right away. You gave it to your client? Interesting. This information certainly sounds important to me. Witness, please include what you just stated in your testimony! Testimony! No! But what's the contradiction? Contradiction! Woo! One of these was to find... Just bust out the figurine or Celeste's suicide note. Shelly to kill her? Because it showed up at Matt's house? Oh yeah, duh. If you really had given the bear to Miss Andrews, then this item should not have been inside it. This item? I see where you're going. Yep, that's where I'm going. Where's everyone going? Do I need to pack a suitcase? Your Honor, please think back to Miss Andrews' testimony. And I was going to burn it for her sake. If even for a single minute this bear had actually been in Miss Andrews' hands, I'm sure she would have taken the suicide note out and burned it. You see, that's kind of what I was thinking. Order, order, order. So that's where you two were going. So by the very fact that the suicide note was still inside the bear, tell us that your client didn't know how to disassemble the puzzle. Which means... It means, Your Honor, that it's impossible for Adrian Andrews to be the client. Ooh! Ooh! Order, order, order! Oh, Mr. Phoenix, right. I'm sure I mentioned this before, how I hate traitors above all else! I think your cross-examination has clearly demonstrated something to me. You must wish to break your end of our agreement. No, that's not! That's enough. If that is your intention, there's only one thing for me to do. Wait, please! Gentlemen, ladies, please excuse me. I have a matter that I must attend to. No! Please! Not to that. Please, wait! Mr. Attorney, bring this trial to a speedy end and I may stay my hand otherwise. What in the Mr. Wright, are you? Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. I didn't understand this witness's outburst just now. Do you think there is a need to hear more testimony, or is this enough? Well, we should. Edgeworth, we can't do this. If we keep this up, Maya, chill. The prosecution... What has come over everyone? Even you are... The prosecution... rests. What is going on around here? The prosecution has no further questions, Your Honor. Ooh. What? Well, I never thought I'd see the day. This is a most unusual situation. If the prosecution rests with no further questions, then the prosecution has failed to uphold its stance. If that's the case, then even though I'm reluctant, I must believe that Mr. DeKiller's testimony is accurate. That would mean that Shelley DeKiller's client is Adrian Andrews. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. If I end the trial here, right now, then your client, Vanguard, would be declared innocent. And in his place, Adrian Andrews would be charged with murder. Miss Andrews would be charged with murder. The prosecution has no further questions, so we'll now hear the defense's final remarks. Bailiff, please bring the defendant, Matt Ungard, to the stand. The items from DeKiller's hideout didn't make it in time. We tried as hard as we could, but it looks like our time has run out. I can't believe it. The outcome now lies in your hands. I thought she said our, but she said yours. Only mine. My hands. My two hands. Two of them. Dude, did the old guy finally decide? To be honest, I can't think of you as a truly innocent and good person. You have done enough evil to drive a woman to suicide. But, at least on the charge of murder, it would appear you're innocent. Huh. So, I guess even the old fuddy-duddy figured me out. Mr. Ungard, you were atrocious as a lawyer, weren't you? Giving your client away like this? And it refreshing like a spring breeze? Crap! It's just as atrocious, don't you agree? Anyway, get on with it and pronounce me innocent already. Alright, Mr. Lawyer? Should I side with justice? Or should I save Maya's life?
You'd better get Ungard a guilty sentence, okay?
But if I did that, Maya will die. But if I say he's innocent, then Miss Andrews will be charged as the murderer. Do I say he's guilty or not guilty? Use your save state so we can see both? Okay. Did you like the little animation there? I liked it. Someone's life is going to end. It all hinges on what I choose. I believe if you choose to say that Matt is not guilty is how you get the bad ending. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defense's final statements on this matter. If the person who hired the assassin was Adrian Andrews, then your client, Mr. Matt Ungard, is innocent. There's no need to ask, old man. After all, my lawyer's gonna say what I want, aren't you? Right. I can't do this, but I have to decide something. I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. Ba-bump, ba-bump, ba-bump. That's the sound a heart makes. My client, Matt Ungard, is... Ba-ba-ba! Safe state. My client, Matt Ungard, is a safe state. Yeah, I believe if I say not guilty, it's how you get the bad end, right? I'm like 90% certain you're supposed to say he's guilty. No? You're supposed to say guilty to get the bad ending? Is that right? The choice doesn't actually matter? Aw, shit. Well... Which one do I say? Okay, I selected guilty by doing that. We're waiting for your answer, Mr. Wright. Matt Ungard, your client deserves an answer. Maya, I'm sorry. Madden Guard is...
Objection!
Oh, right. Somehow I forgot about this part. Francisco von Karma? Somehow I forgot about this part. Holy shit. Ow! You see now, don't you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? This is exactly why you should never take your eyes off that scruffy fool. Did you bring them? The final pieces. Do you have them? You should know better than to ask that, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. Von Karma is perfect in every way. The evidence is here in perfect condition. Don't worry about Scruffy. He's fine, and his injuries are minor. All of the items are inside his coat. Francisco, why did you take his coat? That's kind of weird. What a filthy old coat this is. That's Gumshoes. I can spot his tattered rags anywhere. I apologize for its ugliness, but there was nothing else to wrap the items in. I fought long and hard this whole trial, all for what is inside that raggedy coat. I'm sure that inside that coat lies a crucial piece of evidence. Gumshoe's naked now? Yeah, totally. Your Honor, inside that filthy coat are the defense's final pieces of evidence. Your final evidence? Look at Matt's ass. Just saying. This trial's already over. All that remains is for me to hand down my verdict. I do not believe that any evidence presented now would change the outcome of this trial. What? Shut the fuck up, Your Honor. Your Honor, it is our duty to examine every piece of evidence down to the last. I request that Ms. Von Karma be allowed to present these pieces of evidence. I suppose you're right, Mr. Edgeworth. I grant permission to do so. Damn, all it takes is Edgeworth being like, do it. This one obvious rule applies here. If these items do not bring up any new points, then they will be accepted by this court. Now, Ms. Von Karma, if you please. These pieces of evidence are items left by D. Killer during his escape from the police. He must have been in quite a rush. Yes, Your Honor, D. Killer left 3 pieces of evidence. Somewhere among the evidence we're about to see, there'll be something that will turn this whole situation around. I'm sure of it. The first item is a pistol. Does D. Killer's pistol have anything to do with this case? I don't think so, no. I'm pretty sure there was no gun involved in this case. Where's Von Karma? Haha. Wow, Andy. There's no real benefit to hearing about it. Please present the next piece of evidence. The second piece of evidence is this videotape. Yeah, that's... I would say that's relevant. Have you checked the contents of that tape? Unfortunately, there was no time to. Oh, yeah. But I would speculate that this tape is very important. Yeah, probably. Why would you say that? Because he came back to his hideout for it. D. Killer went back for it? Well, I'm glad Mika's safe stated. Why? That's right. It looks like he was trying to recover it. He injured 3 of the officers at the site. But somehow it looks like they managed to protect it from D. Killer. Shelly D. Killer is no ordinary man. I mean, yeah, he's an assassin. I wouldn't call that ordinary. Last piece of evidence is this bellboy's uniform. Is that a uniform from the Gatewater Hotel? I mean, we don't really need proof that, you know, he was at Gatewater Hotel. That's not something that we're trying to prove right now. So, yeah. We still get it as evidence, but I don't need details. What, did Francisca really want to talk about it? She's like, how dare. That is all I have to present, Your Honor. It's just as I thought. And what is that, Your Honor? I'm sure we are under no normal circumstances. These items from Shelly D. Killer's hideout will be very important clues. However, our question is not who did the killing. It is who is the client. Yes, that is correct. And these 3 items do not tell us anything about that. Thank you for your... Well, no, the tape does because it came from the On Guard mansion. Bruh. 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 Bruh! Wait, Your Honor. Please allow me to examine this new evidence. I like how 2 people in the chat now are just like, bruh. Bruh! Overruled. This court already... Judge! Bailiff! Wag his pee-pee! I got shit to do! Wonderful. Absolutely splendid. This judge is such a brilliant man, isn't he? Is this the end? Bro moment, too. Phoenix. I knew it. There's no such thing as a miracle in this world. The miracle never happened. Is there? I think you're wrong. I think they do exist. But you have to make that miracle happen. But the miracle never happened. You've come this far. You can't give up now. But no matter how you think about it, it's... Try, for my sake. Just think about it for a second. There are 2 ways out of the situation for us. 2? The first... Make Ungard wish from the bottom of his soul for a guilty verdict. Huh? D-Killer will always place the client's wishes first. If Ungard himself wishes to be convicted, then he will let his hostage go. That may be true, but that's asking me to do the impossible. The second way... Force D-Killer to end his contract with Ungard. If D-Killer were to no longer think of Ungard as his client, then he would let Maya go. Mia, that's even more impossible! He is a man who values his duty towards his clients above all else. I know both of these seem like impossible feats at first, but if you could make either one happen, it would truly be a miracle. The bigger problem is, the judge has already said he doesn't need any more evidence. The pieces he was just shown, he's not accepting them. Phoenix, think things through from the other side. Isn't that what was always worked for us? The other side? Wait, does she mean... You mean to turn things around? Like a turnabout? Ah! Phoenix, the judge says he doesn't need the evidence. If that's the case, then who does need it? The person who needs the evidence. The defense, prosecution, and the judge. We have seen all the pieces of evidence. Mika, say when Phoenix says ellipses. You got it. And that's how we know to know the truth. But there are people who have not seen them all. And those I'm sorry, was that a clown moment? Fuck. I'm not a clown, I'm the whole damn circus. And those people do not know the truth. That truth, it may be what will bring about the miracle in the end, but the miracle never happened! There are no objections at this time, correct? No, I object. Objection. Objection.
Objection.
Why don't we all respectfully sit back and listen, kids? Yeah, right? I've already told you, Mr. Wright. This court does not need any more evidence. I'm not saying it is us that needs the evidence, Your Honor. Then, you want to show the evidence to that person? Yes, Your Honor. Please, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, for you to ask with such passion, I'll grant you 1 chance. 1 chance. You better lose yourself in spaghetti. Please show your evidence to who you think is the right person. That's impossible to turn this situation around in 1 try. 1 try. That is all I will permit. I have to try to remember everything that has happened up to this point. Think, Phoenix, think. There must be a way to save Maya while taking Ungard down at the same time. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's not waste any more time. Who would you like to show the evidence to? Oh, Jesus fuck. Save state and present any piece of evidence, not the tape, to any person not to killer. You got it. We're gonna present it to Lotta. I see. And now, tell this court what piece of evidence you would like to show this person. My badge! Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? I don't have anything to say to this. How about you, Miss Funkkarva? Well, I was just shot, so... Put that on fucking no context Ace Attorney, please. I'm afraid I cannot allow the defense to continue. What? No one understands what you're talking about anymore. Wait, please, 1 more chance. That is enough, Mr. Wright. I will now state my verdict. This court finds the defendant Mad Ungard. That's not good. Why are you throwing confetti and cheering? That's not good. Why is anyone cheering? Everyone hates him. And just like that, the case came to an end. I ran away from the courtroom and wandered to the streets alone. Sorry, I'm giggling. I never saw Maya again. Lamau. D-Killer is a man of his word, so I'm sure he released her as promised. I heard the verdict of Miss Andrews' trials a few days later. She was found guilty, of course. The miracle never happened! Yes! That's my favorite typo in all of Ace Attorney. The miracle never happened. Anyway, fuck that. I see. And now, tell this court what one piece of evidence you would like to show this person. The tape. I think there is some merit in showing this evidence to that witness. So anyway, the miracle happened now. Miracle has happened. Bailiff, please bring in the transceiver from earlier. Oh, right. It looks like they got a hold of him. Maya, she's okay, right? Didn't I tell you to concern yourself with bringing about a speedy end to this trial? Now, if I understand correctly, you wish to show me one piece of evidence? Yes, one is all I need. I have your videotape. It was found at your hideout. I heard you injured 3 officers in an attempt to get this back. That was most regrettable. However, it was an order from my client. I was told to protect that videotape. I thought so. I'm afraid I seem to have failed in that regard. Do you know the contents of this tape? I was sternly told by my client not to watch it, so I have absolutely no idea. Actually, you're on this tape. Me? There was a video camera hidden at the crime scene. And the bear! In the big... What was that bear in the big blue house? Goodbye, goodbye. Good friends, goodbye. Your actions were being recorded. What? Is that true? Mr. Wright! Who was it that planted a camera? Well, the only person who could have placed a camera at the scene of the crime would be your client, naturally. That was Adrian Andrews. Be quiet and listen, Your Honor. Yes, sir. When your judge is a fucking idiot. Your client specified a place and time for you, isn't that right? Yes. That was so they could film you. I had no idea. Mr. Wright, why would my client do such a thing? I would like to know why. Why did Madame Guard film the crime scene? The reason why he did, that is my ticket out of here. Out of this whole mess! I'm sorry, I'm not even reading text. There's only one reason why your client would secretly film the crime scene. They wanted to see Juan get his. Wanted to see Juan become no one. Wow. Wanted to... Yeah, didn't trust your skills? Yeah, whatever. Answer's pretty obvious. Your client once told... Somebody told me something very interesting. We were talking about you, and this is what they said. But I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone, least of all assassins. Oh, come on now, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. Yes, that's where the video comes in. With that, I can keep them at bay and even blackmail them if I want. Dave Sir TM, thank you for following at this moment in time. Your client didn't trust you at all. They were thinking of using this video to blackmail you. What do you have to say to that, Shelley the Killer? Oil. Woohoo! This is so sad. Can we get 3,000 likes? It looks like I was being deceived from the very beginning. Yes, by a natural. That is the kind of person they are. Your client is a person who only thinks and plots of how to use people around them, to protect themselves from any and all dangers that may arise. This is the true nature of your client. I have one question for the witness. Yes? You told us one thing numerous times during your testimony. You said that you detest traitors most of all. Yes, that's right. But what if the traitor was your own client? What would you do then? That's obvious. I would break our contract in that case. And then, that client would become my next target. For the honor of the killer name, even if it becomes an eternity, I would follow that person to the ends of the earth to exact my punishment. Red. That was the color red, everyone. I don't know why I just announced it. I see. That's all I wanted to know. So the traitor becomes D-Killer's next target. Ah, I get it. This is how we'll turn this case around! Mr. Wright. Yes? My contract with my client is over as of now. I seem to have a new job on my hands. I will now return to you your precious items. You said becomes, but it said takes. That's because I read ahead like crazy, so sometimes I do read things incorrectly because I don't want to wait for the entire message to appear. I know it's stupid.
What the? I'm not an item! Beep.
I thought I'd never see you again. Oh, thank goodness. This trial appears to have come to its conclusion. However, I'm sort of... Thank you, Fred. Really, thank you. I don't quite know what just happened there with the client and the witness and... Ugh! Miss Von Karma, where did that... She always has you in her sights. Now, does that mean Francesca's like sitting in the audience and she just kind of leaned over and was like, whack! Now, I do believe it's time to finally hand down a verdict.
Look at him sweaty. Sweaty boy.
Mr. On Guard, it looks like somehow you got what you wanted. You will finally receive the acquittal you wanted so badly. Should be happy. But before that, I would like to make one final statement. Sometime in the near future, one very betrayed assassin may appear before you. Needless to say, that man is very good at what he does. I'm sure you would understand what I mean if you watched this video. Help me. Now then, Your Honor, the verdict, if you please. Is this alright with you, Mr. Wright? We have finally reached the end of a very long battle. Whether he's convicted or acquitted, there's no escape for him now. Go on, Phoenix. Plead whichever way your heart tells you. Right, Chief. I mean, I'm gonna guess neither of these options matter at all, but... Madam Guard? Sweaty boy. Even though I am a lawyer, I cannot make your crime disappear. I think a guilty verdict is appropriate here. Me? My wonderful self? Guilty? Even if you got an acquittal, the instant you set foot outside the detention center, your life would be in danger. No matter which way you look at it. You can't run away from your crime anymore. Bye-bye. As always, it looks like we haven't uncovered the real truth. We? I don't remember you helping out much in this. Mr. Edgeworth, how was Madam Guard? I left Miss Von Karma in charge of his incarceration. Aw, shit. I'm sure he's getting a full course meal of whip leather right about now. Very good. That was a close one, wasn't it, witness? Yes. I plan to pay my debt to society for my own crime, Your Honor. This trial was the first time I had stood on the witness stand, and when I did, I really felt hopeless. She must be talking about the time Edgeworth really went after her. I guess she's trying to forgive him for what he did. This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness. If you're going to say you would choose death, that is of no concern to me. Just in case you guys wanted to know, we had to make sure to put a flashback to when Edgeworth was a complete fucking dickhole. But after that, when I was alone at the detention center, that's the first time I really saw myself and who I am. And today, when the two of you used your combined strength to convict... I can't talk anymore, it's been so long. I felt like I had finally been saved. Wow, this is the first time I've seen her smile, like genuinely. I'm really happy that you two were in charge of this case. I really don't know how to express how I feel at this moment. This is
This is the first time I felt comfortable with myself, with who I am. Thank you so much, everyone.
I love her. It's like being choked.
Oh, that's a timely joke. Looks like we resolved everything at last. As for myself, there are still a few things I'm confused about, but everyone seems to be in good spirits, and that's good enough for me. That is all. This court is adjourned. I'm gonna jump off a cliff, Adrian. Do a flip, Edgeworth! You were great out there, Phoenix. What I did out there was right, wasn't it? This is the first time you've not gotten your client off. You got them a guilty verdict this time, but you have to look past all that to what's really important. You now realize that there is something more than just getting a not guilty, right? Yeah, I understand now. Phoenix, think back for a second. Think to the moments before Miss Von Karma arrived with the final pieces of evidence. Think about the incredible decision you had to make. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defense's final statements on this matter. I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. Should I side with justice, or should I save Maya's life? My client, Madame Guard, is he guilty, or is he not guilty? Those were your choices then. And your answer? Your answer spoke to what being a lawyer means to you. Right! Edgeworth? I've good news. Maya's now safe and in police custody.
Really?
Pearls!
You're telling the truth, right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, she's quite safe. She's on her way here as we speak in a patrol car.
Mystic Maya's safe. You did it. You really did it, Mr. Nick.
Ow, she punches deceptively hard for a kid.
I believed in you. I kept saying to myself, Mr. Nick will save her. Mr. Nick will save her.
Thanks. What's wrong?
Miss Von Karma.
Oh shit, she sure is here. About earlier. Thanks? Ow! Why are you still smiling, Mr. Phoenix Wright? You lost! Your perfect win record has now been crushed, and yet you're still happy? I don't think you'll ever understand, Miss Von Karma. How dare you? Don't worry, she may in time. After all, I was like that myself until a year ago. Edgeworth? For my own personal victories and for guilty verdicts, I used every dirty trick in the book, and so my win record remains spotless. But a man appeared and stood fast against that selfish me. I fought him in my usual manner and tasted my first defeat. And then I made this really funny face. I felt like I'd lost everything because of that. And then it was my turn to sit in the defendant's chair. And I was saved by that person I called my enemy. I couldn't forgive myself for all that had happened, so I left the prosecutor's office. And I left that note, Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death. As well as you should have. A prosecutor who has shamed himself with defeat should crawl into a hole and die. I hate how you two are so similar in that way. But that's not what happened. After I left the prosecutor's office, I finally came to realize something. And it was in that moment of clarity that everything began to change. What foolish nonsense! We prosecutors use anything we can to attack the defendant, but every time we did so, no matter how desperate the situation, instead of giving up like most people, that man would hold strong with his undying faith and his very sweaty face. And then, before I knew it, I began to trust in that man as well. What? You trusted your enemy? It doesn't matter how many underhanded tricks a person uses. The truth will always find a way to make itself known. The only thing we can do is fight with the knowledge we hold and everything we have. Erasing the paradoxes one by one, it's never easy. We claw and scratch for every inch. But we will always eventually reach that one single truth. This I promise you.
Truth.
Yes, that's the reason why prosecutors and defense lawyers exist. But I'm sure you knew that already, didn't you, right? That's why you couldn't forgive me. This man who went into hiding. Isn't that right? This man who only had his sights set on victory. Who ran away into the night.
Is Mr. Edgeworth right, Mr. Nick?
You really let me down. When you disappeared, I felt betrayed. The reason I decided to become a lawyer to begin with was because I believed in the things you said to me. All those years ago. Talking about this shit again? Come on, guys. And you betrayed your own words. That's why 1 year ago, I made up my mind. I decided that Miles Edgeworth I knew had died. At least, that's what I told myself.
You pathetic fool!
Miss Von Karma?
I don't want to hear the wretched whimpering of a disgraced loser. A Von Karma is someone who is destined to be perfect. Miles Edgeworth, you are no longer worthy. You are no longer worthy of being a Von Karma. And neither am I. It's over. It's all over! Francesca threw something on the ground just now. This is an electromagnetic receiver. Isn't that the thing she used to track Detective Gumshoe? I'll return this to the precinct later. There's something else.
Isn't that Miss Von Karma's whip?
I'll never set foot in another courtroom again. I'm sure that's what she's saying by this action. You should keep this, right? Okay. Nick! There she is! There she is! Maya!
Mystic Maya!
Mystic Maya!
Oh, Nick, I knew you'd come through. You got Engard convicted like I knew you would. And on top of that, you even rescued me.
Well, of course I did. You know I would never desert you. But we sure pressed our luck this trial. You're really lucky to be standing here.
Whatever. Look, it's over, okay? Besides, if I did croak, I would just come back and haunt you like a bad ghost through Pearly.
Is it really that easy to do something like that?
Thanks a lot, Nick.
Don't mention it. Maya.
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth.
I'm relieved you're alright.
Hey, it looks like you've made some real progress, Mr. Edgeworth.
Well, I suppose I'm a little different from who I was a year ago.
All right. I think it's time we got out of this depressing place.
Huh? Where are we going?
Food, Nick. Food! Grub! Chow! I'm starved! I'm so hungry, even you look like a nice juicy burger on a bun to me, Nick.
You think I look like a burger? I'm a prime rib at least.
Come with us, Mr. Edgeworth, please.
If you insist. Edgeworth being persuaded by a tiny girl is the cutest shit. That's so fucking cute. Alright, so how about we hit up our usual burger joint?
Don't be silly, Nick.
Huh?
This case messed up that awesome evening and got in the way of my gourmet food. So I've decided we have to make up by having another feast.
Another feast?
Come on, Nick. Food!
Edgeworth is gonna go up to the cashier of the burger shop and tell her she looks fucking depressed and make fun of her for it. Don't let him go. Wow. Oh, Edgeworth! Oh my... Gumshoe! You look great! I love your cool hat! Hey, pal, sorry to keep you waiting. Gumshoe, are you alright? Yeah, but I'm really embarrassed. I didn't think I would hit a telephone pole of all. That's the fucked up thing about this. Gumshoe didn't even hit another car, he hit a fucking telephone pole. A telephone pole? Then it wasn't a red light that got him? You did it again, city boy.
I felt like my dear old heart was gonna give up on me, and I ain't joking. Yeah, it was more exciting than the very last episode of The Steel Samurai.
Thanks.
Now, looky here, Mr. Stoonie Prosecutor, don't you reckon you bullied Mr. Right too hard? If you don't start being a lot nicer to him, he might just kick it. Tonight, even!
I'll keep that in mind.
Well, come on now, everyone gather round. Y'all gonna get your picture taken by a genuine professional photographer.
Looks like Lotta bought herself a new camera. Well, pal, at least we can put this messy case behind us now. Come on, tonight's all about eating, so let's go chow down, pal.
Amen to that, pal. Amen.
You know, when you think about it, you were the one who saved the day, Detective.
Huh? Me?
You really think so?
He's right. If it wasn't for the 3 items you took, I think this trial would have had a very different ending. That's true! The tape! Ah, well, you know, it's... Huh? Wait. That's odd. When I ran off with the things from the killer's hideout, I was sure I took 4 things total, sir.
What? 4?
Yeah, I'm sure I put one of the items in my coat pocket. There was a 4th item? Ah, come on, y'all, it's over. But oh boy, I tell you, you really are something else. Between getting accused of murder and getting kidnapped, never a dull moment with you, huh?
You think?
Why does she look so happy about that? Maya just embraces it. She knows her wife is whack as fuck, and she's at peace with it.
But being shut away for 2 whole days, weren't you scared? Yeah, it was really scary. I felt so hopeless. So to keep my mind off of things, I drew a picture.
Who's pegging me in my chat? I'm in the middle of something.
Sounds like you had a rough, gal. So what's this picture of yours?
Yeah, I want to see it. I want to see Mystic Maya's picture. You know, I don't know where it went. Aw, that's too bad.
Well, it's alright. It wasn't anything important anyway.
Yeah, that's how I feel when I see Maya too, Fred. That's how I feel too. Sure, it's nice to finally see them both smiling again. Oh god, here it comes. What is it, Edgeworth? This thing is picking something up. Ah, that's Miss Von Karma's receiver. Ugh, thanks to her, I had the most awful experience of my life, sir. I can't believe she stuck a tracking device on me. That's odd. Even though you're standing right here, the tracking device seems to be in a different location. Oh, it's probably busted or something, sir. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm afraid it's about time for me to excuse myself. I still have some work to do.
Huh? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, you haven't eaten anything yet.
And you've eaten way too much, you glutton. Phoenix, she was starving for 2 days. Leave her alone. I had fun tonight. Now, if you'll excuse me. Wait. What? I just want to say thanks, Edgeworth. You really saved me out there. If anyone should be saying thanks, it should be me, right? I feel like words alone aren't enough here. I wonder if there's anything I can give him to express how I feel. Here you go. What's this? Thank you. It's all thanks to you two. You and her. I'm not giving him the badge! You don't need to thank me. I was only doing my job.
Looks like Mr. Edgeworth left, Mr. Nick. Hey, Mystic Maya?
Yes, Pearly?
I guess you two can go back to being lovey-dovey, right? You and Mr. Nick, I mean.
Pearly? Would you cut it out already?
Anyway. So, who's paying for this lovely dinner party? What if you give him the pistol? That'd be fucked up.
As if you need to ask. Everyone say thank you to Nick!
Huh? Yeah, I'm kinda at the point where I can't even buy instant noodles, pal. So I kinda already put your name on the bill. Huh? Huh?
Yeah, I got me a situation just like that myself. There's this camera shop in this hotel, see? And I just bought myself this good old beauty here. It better be anyhow for $3,000.
Huh? Huh? Huh?
Actually, I reckon you bought it for me since it's on your tab and all.
Huh?
Isn't this great, Mr. Nick?
Yeah, Nick. Why do I suddenly feel like screaming?
Aw, you don't need to hold back now, you hear?
Yeah, pal, time to let it all out!
This is gonna be the first time I hear the real you.
Go on, it's been a while since I heard you say it. I've been busy being a hostage and all.
Alright then, if you say so. Oh fuck, but I can't... But my microphone no worky. It's not gonna work though. It's not gonna work. The game's just gonna be like, what? Oh my god. Okay, let's see if it works. Shit. Objection! Damn it! Objection! Come on! Objection! It's not gonna work! I'm stuck! Objection! Can I just click it, please? Fuck! This is fucking bullshit. Objection. Objection! Objection! This is the worst day of my life. I'm gonna like wake up my whole neighborhood. Use mouse? It doesn't do anything. I can't click it. I can't tap it. It doesn't do anything. Objection. 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 I am in Desmume. Hold on, guys. Is my microphone even like turned on for this thing? Microphone settings. Use connected physical microphone. Will that do it? Objection. 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 Whoa! Objection! Oh man.
You really came through for me, Nick. I had to hide that letter. I knew you'd find it. I really feel like I've been living on the edge lately. I mean, I've escaped death 3 times now. Pretty cool, huh? I feel like a pro. I'm so happy that you could save Mystic Maya, Mr. Nick. I'm so happy for the two of you. Speaking of, I think this hotel's a popular place for honeymooners, so I sort of made reservations for it to use just in case.
How the fuck how did you make reservations? You're like 8. Well, pal, looks like I'm back on the force again. Mr. Edgeworth had a long talk with the chief, and he got me reinstated for my sake. I heard he said things like, letting that one go is bad for all of society. I knew it! Crashing headlong into everything is the only way to live, pal! I'm so hungry. I'm very hungry.
I, Maggie Bird, am retiring this uniform as of today, sir. I'm going to be a waitress from now on. And bring smiles and joy to the people who come by this restaurant, sir. I hope you'll stop by sometime, Mr. Wright.
Yes. Are you here to visit a patient? I'm Director Hottie. Oh. Recently, yes, that girl you know. I haven't seen her around. Yes. But I remember, even if I laid so much as an eye on her, crack! It didn't matter if I got whipped, though. Yes. Oh. Hey, my main boy, Tadaki Yamamoto! Ow! It's time to begin our quest of world circus domination, sweetie. And to let the world know we are serious, I plan to make a fabulous flight to Zimbabwe.
Hey Max, what do you think Zimbabwe is like? Do you think there are castles made of cake and bunnies who can talk?
I think if there are any talking bunnies, even they won't laugh at Mo's jokes. I'm ready. I'm ready. There's no way these jokes are gonna fall on deaf ears. I'm going to be more contemporary with my humor. Bow curls represent.
We've got our new act all worked out. Prepare for the Hallelujah chorus. Say something, will ya? You're supposed to start this off. Get on with it.
Clowns. What's this? Ah, drat! It's an ordinary electric razor recharging on the— oh god, too much tech. I can't believe this, really! How long they plan on making me do this? Oh, but it's Edgy Poo's idea, so— wait, she's still investigating? Bruh, the trial's over. You don't gotta— she's gonna be busy for a while. Boy howdy. My boy Katsumi Marunaga! Ooh! And Kumiko Suekane! And Yukari Suabe! Wow! I appreciate everything you and Mr. Edgeworth did for me from the bottom of my heart. Oh, that's right. I received a letter from Miss Von Karma. She said that after I get out, I should feel free to consult her about anything at all. I'm really thankful to have met everyone. I diagnose you with lesbian. Atsushi Inaba! Woo! She got arrested again? No, she tampered with the crime scene, so she's still gonna pay, like, you know, she's gonna have to do stuff. Like, she didn't get, you know, will you quit fucking pegging me in the chat? Oh, I'm sorry, DeKiller said some stuff. Well. Shinji Mikami! Yeah. Where are you going, Francisca? How did you know I was here? With this. That's... I heard you were planting things on a certain person. Things like tracking devices in his coat, for example. That's just like you. I only planted it there because he was always wearing it. This filthy, drab coat of his that you're still carrying for some reason. I don't know how it ended up in my— you're lying. Francisca! I'm beginning to think that Francisca's a fucking bisexual icon. Oh, my queen. But it's going in the trash, I promise you that. Oh, that's right. Speaking of that man, he told me something very interesting. When I ran off with the things from DeKiller's hideout, I was sure I took 4 things total, sir. 4 items? It seems he put the last one in his coat pocket. He put it in here? It doesn't matter anymore. The case is already over. What are you going to do now? That's none of your business. Are you running away? Shut up! You don't understand a thing! You can't possibly understand what it means to be Manfred von Karma's daughter! Francisca. So many expectations from everyone around me. Expectations I must fulfill. I'm expected to win no matter what. And failure? Such a thing is not an option for me. My father was a genius. There's no doubt about that. But me. I'm no genius. I've always known that. But I had to be one. I had to. He may not be a genius like your father, but you're a prosecutor. You have been and always will be. No, I'm not. Not anymore. I've even thrown my whip away. Speaking of that, Wright gave me this to hold on to. Right. You knew something like this would happen, didn't you? Yes, guys, I remembered that you have to do that, by the way. Mika has a memory every now and then. I'm going to say this again. We prosecutors do not fight for personal honor or pride. I hope you'll think deeply. Cheater? No, I literally just remembered that. I'm sorry. Is having a brain cell cheating? Shit, I'm sorry. I'll have to put my brain... Sorry, Andy, here's the brain cell back. I'm sorry I was hogging it for so long. I hope you will think deeply about what you should be striking down with that whip. You haven't changed a bit. You've always left me alone and walked on ahead without me. Miles Edgeworth. I've always hated you. And then, finally my chance to take my revenge on you arrived. If I could win against that man, if I could make Phoenix Wright bow down in defeat, then this girl you left behind would have risen higher than you. That was supposed to be my revenge. I see. You know, I can't do it. I can't change who I am. I can't throw away everything I've been until today. I believe you can. Just like how Adrian Andrews did. Adrian Andrews? You were going to use her during the trial, right? But you were dependent on your father by using his tactics. Isn't that right? Today, you chased after me after I had left you behind all these years. And that's why we're standing here now, side by side. But I have no intention of stopping. If you say you're going to quit your walk down the prosecutor's path, then this is where we part ways, Franziska von Karma. Oh, I love her. I was waiting for it with so much intensity. I love Franziska. I am Franziska von Karma. Don't think I'm going to walk in your shadow forever. Our battle begins now. So you better prepare yourself, Miles Edgeworth.
This is an airplane. There it goes.
Phoenix Wright. One day, someday, I'm sure we'll meet again in battle. Until then, this last piece of evidence that never made it to you, I'll take good care of this fourth piece. So I can give it to you when at last we meet again. Aww. It's the drawing Maya did. It's like being stabbed in the heart. My Kokoro. Hey, thanks, Capcom. Sometimes you do things right, actually. I don't know who the fuck on your team one day said, we should make a game about lawyers, but they were right. They were right. Yay! That's it! I hope you all enjoyed Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All. Also, we unlocked all these artworks, which is kind of fun, right? Oh, sorry. If you do new game. So, that's kind of fun. When you finish the cases, they get these artworks on them, which is kind of cool. But also, it looks really silly, because I'm playing on an emulator, therefore it's like... To me, it looks weird. Whatever. Well, anyway... That's it. We finished Ace Attorney Justice for All. I am going to stream Trials and Tribulations. I already saw, like, at least 2 people in the chat be like, when's Trials and Tribulations? I will do it, just not right away. I'm gonna take a break, just like I did in between the first game and this one. But it'll happen. Promise, you guys. Shoot, son. You and your anime games? You want to be playing more of those? Okay. So anyway, speaking of this motherfucker, I have to end my stream now and hand it over to Asian Annie 94 because, yeah, all that. Oh yeah, that stuff I put on the, yeah. So, Andy, do you want me to play off or do you want me to just kind of die? 3 houses when? 3 houses now, actually. I'm gonna go ahead and just, you know, abort stream.